Boogity, 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 boys. Let's go racing. It's mountain driving day. Heading out now. We're gonna go meet up with a few friends. It's gonna be a nice chill day. We might do a little bit of more spirited driving. There are gonna be some new drivers there. And I also haven't hit these mountains seriously in quite a few years. So let's get up there, let's see what the condition of the roads are, and get to it. We're gonna begin our mountain journey here at the bottom of 276, also known as Caesar's Head. A lot of the people that we were supposed to be cruising with kind of canceled out last minute, so now it's only Alan in the MR2 and Chin in the S2000. So we're gonna head up. This is our first run of the day. We got a lot of roads to do. We're gonna take it easy on this one. I probably won't even hook up the GoPro, but I'll get it going here in a little bit. Made it up our first section of the mountain. We are on top of Caesar's Head right now. We'll go check out the view here in just a second. Here's Alan's MR2. What's special about this MR2? Rev 3, is that what the special?
Yeah, we didn't get the Rev 3 in the States. It's updated suspension geometry, which this has got aftermarket on, but the motor's 3SGTE, and they started in 93 or 94 with the Rev 3 in Japan and other countries. It's more aggressive cams, something about strengthening the #1 cylinder that would blow out, or #4, I can't remember. It's got the CT20B billet turbo. They upped the boost from 7 pounds to 12, I believe, and obviously it's the Koki style car with the taillights that everybody likes, and
it's the most sought after one, right? Pretty much.
For me personally, I like it. Yeah, I would say so.
And they're getting expensive. I think you bought it the right time. I think
in before the demand, I guess.
Yeah, JDM tax. Alan and I used to go up here in the mountains 10, 15 years ago, like every weekend, every other night, it seems like, up here hooning in the mountains. He had cool stuff then. He had RX-7s. I was rocking Eclipses until I got an Integra. And then, of course, there's the 180. Did a fresh oil change on it last night. It should be good to go. And you said this is a 2008?
2008 AP2.
And you have wheels and what kind of suspension, did you say?
It's just the stock suspension with
okay.
lowered springs.
Gotcha. Man, it makes me want another S2000 bad. And red, too, is like the perfect color.
I kind of don't like the red.
No? I had black, so it was just full of swirl marks. It's probably been maybe 6 years since I've been up here. Absolutely beautiful views. Table Rock, Greenville's back over that way, Paris Mountain, easily somewhere in there. You can probably see the big dick-shaped water tower somewhere out here. A little too hazy though. Back in the cars, heading down the backside of 276. Alan hooked us up with some sweet JDM tunes. I don't have any good music. I don't ever have any CDs anymore. You know, everybody uses phones. But he's ripped a bunch of old Japanese music off some Japanese driving shows and movies. And that's what we're cruising today in the mountains. But right now we're hitting a lot of traffic, so we're gonna wait, and once I get to the next section of the road, I'll probably throw up the GoPro and we'll do some actual footage of the driving. Turn the sweet Japanese pop down for a minute. Let's talk while we're stuck behind a slower Hyundai. The 180 is absolutely amazing up here. I hope you guys can see out of the front window a little bit, kind of get an idea of inside the cabin, plus a little bit of the outside scenery. Absolutely beautiful day to go driving. Now, it did snow up here on like 5 days ago. So there's a little bit of salt on the road, especially on the back side of the mountains. And I haven't seen too much here, but there's a little bit of wet spots and it's still pretty cold out. So we're kind of taking it easy when we see a little bit of wet in the road because we don't want to be crashing our cars. But the 180 feels so good. Man, it's completely different than the GTR. I had the GTR up here in these same mountains and it just feels so much more light and nimble and so much more fun to drive. Don't get me wrong. The GTR feels amazing. It's a great car, but there's just so many more working parts to a GTR. It's so much heavier feeling. There's so many other little things that can go wrong. with the 180, it's such a basic car, I guess you could say. It's a lot easier to work on. There's less that can go wrong. And it's just, oh man, it's so much fun. It might not be quite as fast in a straight line, but through these curves, I can just sling it through so much easier than the GTR. Now, if only this Hyundai up here had the proper mountain courtesy. I think it's a younger couple. I think they were pulled off at a waterfall we were looking at earlier. But typically when we're up here, I mean, I haven't been up here in quite a few years doing this kind of driving. Typically people get out of the way. There's like a common courtesy in the mountains here that if you see sports cars behind you trying to have fun, as long as they're not acting like idiots. Like back in the day, maybe 10, 15 years ago when I was in high school, we would have probably, you know, passed these people on the double yellow line already. But we're older, we're grown up, we're not stupid. I just wish the Hyundai had a little bit of common mountain courtesy. Hey, thank you. There's the common courtesy, yeah. Off we go to the races. Let's keep the Japanese music off for a minute, talk it through here. The power feels so good. It's pretty similar to the MR2. I think we're pretty close in power. He might have a little bit more. Oh man, it does feel good. The S2000's behind me, staying pretty close. We're not trying to get on each other's butts though, just in case something happens. Ooh, Alan giving it some gas through the straightaway though. Woo! Oh man, it feels good to be back up here driving. Ooh, a little dip in the road. This is the second half of 276. If you're coming from South Carolina, 276 goes up to Table Rock. That road is complete trash now. It used to be good maybe 10, 15 years ago, but now there's potholes everywhere. This is 276 past Brevard heading up to the Blue Ridge Parkway. Most of the parkway is going to be closed today, so we won't really be doing any parkway adventures. The parkway is kind of a slow scenic route type thing. Oh, there's a park ranger. There's a park ranger. Hopefully he's not running radar. We might be screwed. I'm gonna take the camera off. All right, camera mounted back on. I think we just got lucky. Luckily, after that straight, if he had been sitting on that straightaway, he would have gotten us good. But by the time we came around to him, we had kind of slowed it down just a little bit. So we're in the clear there, I think. That's one thing you got to watch out for up here, the park rangers. I think that was a park ranger. On the Blue Ridge Parkway, the park rangers have all like authority, and they're kind of, I mean, not to be a dick, but they're kind of dicks. You'll run into good park rangers, of course, just like there's good cops, bad cops. But I would imagine that's going to be the only law enforcement on this side of the mountain. So I think from here we should be good. Yeah, I don't see him coming, so we should be all right. Got lots of pull-offs up here where people come and check out some scenic, like hiking areas, waterfalls, things like that. It's a beautiful area. Great for driving, great for coming up here and connecting with the nature. Oh man, it has been a while since I've been on these roads. Some of the corners get a little bit technical. Not too bad though. I'm not shifting all the way to red line either. I'm kind of granny shifting a little bit. Don't want to go balls to the walls too hard. It's funny, you can barely hear the blow-off valve on this thing. You guys probably can't even hear it. It's kind of down in the front bumper on the passenger side. Very quiet. It's an HKS though. Look at that ice on the side of the mountains. Getting up in the elevations. I think he's taking a little bit easy right here just because he's unsure of the road conditions. I think he was also in second gear. He just pulled hard on me in third. Oh Oh man, this is so much fun. I hope you guys enjoy this little bit of content like this. It's not often I get to get up here and drive the cars like they're meant to be driven. And I bet some of you guys will complain like, oh, you're driving the cars that you're trying to sell. Well, look at this as a selling point, that I'm up here not completely ripping on these cars, but I'm giving this car, you know, a little bit of gas, driving it. Whoa, a little wet through there. But clearly, this car's not gonna break down on you if you buy it anytime soon. The oil, I did an oil change yesterday, like I said, and the oil actually wasn't very dark. It had only been changed 500 kilometers ago. But the last oil change was done in 2015. So this car's only been 500 kilometers in the last, you know, 5-6 years. And I imagine a lot of those are from me since it's been back in the States. Oh man, it just pulls so nicely, and the SR sounds so good. It's not too drony. It's not raspy. Just sounds awesome. All right, we're pulling up on the parkway. Most of it's closed. We're gonna come up here, probably take a little piss break and assess the back side of the road maybe. That was a pretty good first run of the day. A few sketchy spots in the road there that kept us going a little bit slow, but the downhill side of this, heading further into North Carolina towards, I think, Waynesville, is probably gonna be a lot icier. We're probably gonna take it a lot more easy, just kind of cruise down. The backside often doesn't get as treated as the front side, and most of the shadow is on the backside, so it'll probably be a lot icier than the front. But we're out here up on the parkway right now. As you can see, I don't know if you can see it up there, there's a gate, and right there's a gate, because it gets really icy and nasty up here, so they close it off for a lot of the winter. Now, it's kind of funny, Alan pointed out that it looks like this guy over here, look, there's all like burnout marks up in here, all up in here. Somebody's been yeet-eating. And there's a Jeep over here. Let's go take a look at this Jeep. Alan has dubbed the term clapped out yeet machine. And I think that definitely describes this Jeep right here. Looks like he's just yeeted a little too hard. I'm guessing the tire's probably in there somewhere.
What if he's a subscriber?
I highly doubt a Jeep up here in North Carolina is a subscriber to the channel, but hey, either way, nice bear wheels. Nice 3 bear wheels. Oh my god. That was definitely driven in. That is hilarious. This line comes all the way off 276 up onto the parkway, so somewhere down there he lost it and just somehow yeeted it all the way to the top. Hey, it's got a Waynesville sticker. We're heading down there. Yeah. Slight change of plans. We're not going to go down the backside just because it is icy and we're going to be tiptoeing around these roads. There's no need to waste time and miles going down these roads just to go back up another mountain that'll probably be exactly the same like this. So we're gonna run back down 276, which was a nice road, head back down to Brevard, grab some food, and then head over to 215 and 178 and run those. And I mean, that's a good another hour of driving, so that'll probably close out our day. But there's still lots of driving to be had. Look at those icicles. Yeah, this is crazy over here on this side. Stopped on the way coming back down 276. Oh, got a car coming. Let me get off into this mud pit. Oh, this is a terrible idea. There's a coronavirus right there at me, boys. Oh my god, my shoe is soaked with the coronavirus. Anyways, after that mess, coming back down 276, it's a pretty good drive on the way down. There's a couple sketchy spots, but there was that park ranger on the way up, so we've been taking it a little bit easy. Plus, this is the first time I've been out in the 180. It's the first time, he said he's only had the S2000 a few months. Alan's been up here shredding the MR2 a few times already. But absolutely fun time. he stepped in the mud too, but he got up to like over his ankles. God, that's where he sunk in. That's a big sink. If you guys are familiar with mountain driving or even just watch Initial D, you'll know that the downhill is obviously more technical because uphill, you know, you're using the power of your car, but downhill, I mean, you know, we could take on whatever, like a 700 horsepower, anything, whatever. Insert your huge horsepower car here. Horsepower doesn't really matter coming down the hill. It's all about your driving skills and technical abilities. I haven't filmed any on the downhill because we have been just chilling, but it's very interesting. It's been a long time. You know, we used to come up here every single night, at least every other night, and just shred these mountains. And we would do, you know, stages. It was like real life Initial D for us back in the day. And I do miss that, but definitely growing up now, having a family makes you realize that holy hell, how did we survive those days? Because we were balls to the walls every single corner. It's freaking ridiculous that we made it as long as we did. Stopping here in Brevard after grabbing some food, grabbing some gas right now. And the inside of this gas station has a freaking bar in it. What gas station do you know has a bar? That is insane. Little STI or WRX going by. Did you see inside of that gas station?
Yeah, they got a bar.
They have a bar?
Yeah, all the tribals do.
No way.
Yeah, they've got like all of the best craft beers.
No way. I've never seen that anywhere else.
Franchise in South Carolina.
Hell, boys, I didn't know you could go to the gas station, fill up your car, and get a Bud Light at the bar at the same time. That's a game changer right there. Woo! Welcome to the South. We're heading to 215 now. 215 is probably one of my favorite driving roads. It's absolutely greatly paved, no potholes for the most part, and it's a road you can really get going on. We're gonna take that up to the parkway and then probably enjoy right there at the top of the parkway again like we did. Turn around, come back down 215 and then hit 178, which is another pretty good road. Not as good as 215, but we got the best driving roads coming up. The first part of 215 there is pretty fun, a little bit technical. I had the radio going. I don't know if that'll even make the cut, but now I'm gonna turn the radio off and talk to you guys a little bit while we do this second half of it. This is the last final uphill stretch going up to the top of the mountain to the parkway. It's about maybe 8 minutes of driving or so from here. If the roads are in okay condition, we'll be able to do a pretty good run up here. Pretty high speeds at some points. Then there's some hairpins and things we got to really slow down for. This is one heck of a road to drive. One of the best for sure in this area. I like driving this more than the Tail of the Dragon because not as many people know about this road. The Tail of the Dragon's about 3 hours from here in Tennessee, and it's fun to drive. But the Tail of the Dragon is so high. Everybody knows about it. There's so many cars there. There's police there all the time. It kind of ruins it. I'm gonna put these windows up. I don't know if that talking with the windows down was even working. Just crack them a little bit for us. All right, here we go. Let's get back at it. A little bit of some sort of, I don't know if it's salt or if they just kind of dirt the roads a little bit up here. A little bit of residue left over still in the roads from the snowstorm earlier this week. So far no ice on the road, so that's good. Ugh, we don't need fifth gear for this. I'll stick to fourth at the highest. Alan just got the new exhaust. I don't know if you're gonna hear him very much right now. You can hear his exhaust popping a little bit in person. He posted it up on Facebook. I gave him a little crap for it, saying it sounded like an SRT4. And he admitted it does a little bit sound like the SRT4, but it's not quite as like, getting a little bit of snow close to the road up here. I think Alan's trying to take it a little bit easy to make sure nobody messes it up. Because that's the last thing we want on a fun day, is for somebody to have an accident. second gear there. I've noticed him downshifting a lot more than me. I've been kind of playing it safe and keeping it in third a lot more. He's been in second a lot. Could be different gearing in the cars too. I'm in second right now, and I think he is as well. Yeah, he's definitely in second. I'm going to third right there. I'm going to keep it in third on this long sweeping. He might still be in second, I think. That is a little bit hairier of a hairpin. When I drive, I'm a little bit more, not as much right now though either because of the conditions out here. Normally I try to keep speed into the corner so I don't have to downshift quite as much. Yeah, he's in second right now. I'm in third. I'm screwed right here. Third gear around 3,500 RPM and this thing pulls pretty good. Second gear around 35, 4,000 pulls really good. High speed area of the course right now. S2000's a little further back than I am from Alan. I don't know if you can see him in the rearview mirror or not. Thought this was the pull-off, but I guess the pull-off's a little bit higher up. Big icicles. Look at the ice on the side of the mountain. That's awesome. Woo! Alan, slowing down a little bit. We're right here at the top now, pretty much, I think, if I remember correctly. There should be a pull-off up here somewhere. Pop, pop! We used to be up here all the time doing this stuff. Very cool to look back on what me and Alan used to be. I mean, Alan was in cool cars then too, like I said, but very cool to come back up to these places we raced as younger adults or kids, you might say, and kind of relive it in the Japanese dream cars. Top of the parkway, 215 done, good solid run. The first half was definitely a lot better without the salt and all that stuff, or the dirt, whatever they treat the roads with up here. Brine. It's what? Brine. I don't even know what that is. It's like a chemical. Oh, well, I'm definitely gonna spray my car off as soon as I get home. Yep. We're gonna head back down now and stop in Rosman, stop at some icy walls, and then head down through 178 into Pickens. I don't have much GoPro life left though, so we'll see where that goes. We pulled over on the side of the road for our obligatory ice freaking rock picture. As soon as we pull up, Alan pulls up right here. Luckily he stops right here because then this giant piece of ice comes flying down, and it mostly stayed off the road, but there's a little chunk of it right there in the road. That was the scariest thing of the day so far, probably. It's definitely above freezing here, so all this stuff's melting. You can hear it dripping down. It's freaking crazy looking. We moved down just a little bit further for the icier part of the wall, and of course as soon as we do, this big chunk falls right where we were. This is probably not the best place to, oh, probably not the best place to be for much longer. Much cooler backdrop from this angle. As long as we don't die from 7-foot long icicles. That thing over there is massive, look at that. That would kill people. I got ahead of everybody, pulled off down here on the side of the road. I want to get a drive-by of them flying by with some good exhaust notes from the MR2 and the S2000. Hey. All right. Let me get a little Carrera-esque action going up the mountain. Look at that. 3 for 2 deal. This should be a really cool spot. You know, it's kind of hard to get exhaust notes going downhill, but at least coming out of these corners right here, as soon as they make this corner, they should be giving it a little bit of gas at least to go down the hill here. Here they come, boys. That was pretty sweet. That was a pretty sweet exhaust note. Now I gotta catch them. But I'm gonna have a freaking Chevy Sonic in front of me. The 180, I didn't realize how much this color would show dust, but this thing is the dustiest car out here right now. Look at all that dust. Yeah, I kind of figured this blue car was gonna be the problem. No. See you later. VTEC. why he wasn't just yeeting out of here real hard. But he gave us the nod of approval. Yeehaw! Alan's MR2 sounds freaking sweet with that new exhaust. I actually just drove it. I was driving it for the last couple miles while he drove my car, and he was getting some rolling shots of his. That vehicle, driver's ed car, has a hood scoop on it. I think it's like a Ford Escape or something, but it has a freaking hood scoop on the front. Anyway, we're back in Easley now, finished with the mountains. I'm gonna get this baby home and rinse her off. I don't know if I'm gonna do a full wash today, but I'm gonna at least rinse all this grit off. I'm heckin' tired, boys. It's 2 days in a row of getting up at like pre-7 a.m. to go do car activities. I am absolutely beat. The 180 did absolutely freaking fantastic. It's dirty now, it's covered in nastiness, but you can see where I was leaning on it. It did absolutely great. The GoPro actually died once we got on 178. I had like a couple minutes of footage, but it was before it really got good. 178's really deteriorated a lot since the last time that I've been on it. So it's not the best road, and there's lots of bad traffic and dumb drivers. But we actually did get like maybe 3 or 4 minutes of like really good driving in. I took the lead, and I mean, Alan's a great driver, don't get me wrong. I just wanted to push this car like just to see what it could do, and man, it sure did freaking deliver. This thing, absolutely awesome. Very, very satisfied, so much more fun. And I'm not even just saying this because I have this car now, but this is so much more fun than the GTR. Like beyond the R32 GTR. I am definitely sold on 180s. I mean, I don't know, I want to say over GTRs, I really do. I think I would much rather have a 180. GTR, you get all that cool, you know, famous running around town clout. People see a GTR and they absolutely freak out, like it blows their mind. I mean, I guess I get it, they didn't have it in the States. A lot of us have seen them everywhere, but the 180, it still gets a ton of attention, but it's not like GTR attention. It's nice. You can actually go somewhere without somebody just like jumping down your neck. I don't mind talking to people about cars, but you know, if you're busy and you're actually trying to get somewhere on time or do something, it does get a little bit annoying. But for the most part, I don't mind talking to people at all. But the 180 kind of lays low just a little bit. At least a little bit lower than the GTR, and performance wise it's right there with it, if not above it. But it is like 4 o'clock. I'm tired. I have 2 videos to edit, a bunch of messages to get back to, and I should probably go to the gym today because I haven't done that in a few days. So I hope you guys have enjoyed the video. I will see you guys in the next one. As always, thanks for watching.